best line in music. Sure, what? I don't know any other way to say you're so pretty. You got me speechless, girl. I don't know what to say. Y'all went outside when niggas was screaming over the track. Yep. What's your name and what's your sign? How you doing fine? Do you mind if I see? I feel like I am floating in a dream. Feels like ecstasy. Y'all wasn't outside though. Me? You know what? Maybe I wasn't outside either. Like I was in school, but like cause niggas was outside.
That's a different outside.
It was.
There's a difference between like being on a block and being on a stoop. You're still outside, just a different variation outside.
And that's when, you know what the crazy part is? Because I feel like now, because of like, politics and shit, Florida gets like and they get a deserved bad rap, but it's not us. It's the rest of Florida. But because that shit'll come on and the whole shit be jumping and it be, you don't even pay attention. It's a room full of fucking, full of Miami's most dangerous motherfuckers, like right next to you. But it don't fucking matter because it's a vibe. Niggas is fucking
a bunch of wicks and freeform locks next to you, just getting this shit off. What do you know?
Niggas will get you the fuck up out of here, but having a great time.
Having a fantastic time.
Hi, everybody.
Which is different. I don't know, because out here we was, gangsters don't dance, we boogie. But in other parts, especially in the South, they was full-blown routines with the shit.
That might be a thing. I think the world might have been a little safer when, like, you could dance.
When your masculinity wasn't challenged as a man because you were able to just dance how you wanted to dance?
You know what? Okay, I got this. This is turning into a point. I said hi to y'all, but fuck that, skip it. Hi, how you doing? How's your week? Great. I had a whole intro to that because we're going to tell you guys about adversity. Okay. That's why you guys are going to get a short episode today because, we did a lot, but we're still here.
Absolutely.
Actually, that was the intro. But that made me think because I had another conversation like maybe a week ago that I feel like correlates in the music vein of like to piggyback off that. It's like you think about music and like music come on now and it's like, well, shit, as a regular individual, you be thinking like, yo, I need to knock a motherfucker head off. Mm-hmm. Now you had like, Crime Mob might have gave you that, Roy Jones and made you want to punch a nigga here and there. You had Bone Crusher in them. So it's not like you didn't have those, but you definitely had the tracks. It's like you almost be next to a nigga and be like, look, man, you finna, they getting to it, and you hear us playing. You want to fight? Like, what do y'all do to that now? And that made me think about like a conversation I had earlier this week when it was the same basic conversation. It wasn't like in the hood nigga department, but it was just like when y'all out there, like it was Doja Cat who sparked this conversation. Doja Cat, it did her little belly roll shit or whatever and went viral, and everybody got to talking that was of a certain age bracket. Like, as funny as this is, all you niggas remember word to Felix. Like everybody, you remember, a lot of you niggas was doing them hunches. Like you was doing the pregame hunch shit as a group, and then you would go to the party, and it was less corny because it would pay off. Like I don't know what that is in this group. Like if you're a high schooler, if you're in college, what y'all? And I don't mean like in the HBCUs will forever play some Boosie or some shit like that. So you'll be fine. Y'all down there will be fine. But if you go to like fucking Rutgers, I don't know, like what the fuck is y'all doing?
I think it would depend on who you kicking it with.
That's a good point.
As a non-HBCU goer, not for any lack of love, they just didn't pay me to go. I went where I was paid, which happened to be a pretty white institution. But I think it depends on who you kick it with. Like we still had stuff, and depending on where the region where you were would depend on the type of music that you listen to. So we had a lot of Atlanta cats, a lot of Virginia cats, a lot of DMV cats. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the music that they would listen to or that I got exposed to was from those areas or some East Coast stuff. We also had some of our teammates that was, they identified, but they was at the baseball player parties or at the field hockey girl parties or the gymnastic girls parties. And, there was a lot of white women at them parties. So what they wore and what they listened to at them parties was a little bit different. Well, at a black college culture is black college culture. So no matter where you from in the country, you're going to get acclimated into whatever black college Southern culture is. So you'll hear some, even if you ain't never heard Boosie or wasn't really a fan of Boosie a day in your life, you're going to get there. And you may hear some Boosie, you may hear some local stuff from wherever. If you're in Texas, you'll hear some local Texas stuff. If you're in Louisiana, you'll hear some Louisiana stuff. It just kind of depends. So I don't know. I think it depends on the region, who you hanging around, and what school you go to. It's gonna vary. Rutgers, I don't know what the hell they listening to, but I'm sure that Rutgers is listening to some shit that's way different than what they hearing at Cal Berkeley.
I rock with that. But I would say, like, I would even use your school, for instance. So if it's like, because that would still be an era thing, because you named a couple places. If I'm going like, if we're using Atlanta, and you could still grab during college time, you could still grab some T.I. still going on, some fucking, I don't know, man.
Let's see, the 2010s. Well, it was like
you got WAP when WAP was WAP.
Yeah. So you think about Ohio, period. Ohio in general, in my opinion, they never really had their own identity, so they're going to latch on to different areas' identities. So, you say 07 to 011 in Ohio, it's going to be a lot of Gucci. It's a lot of Rick Ross. It was a lot of, what else was they listening to? I know I listened to every goddamn thing, so that was different because I was DJing the house party, so I stayed on top of music on a regular basis. A lot of Pretty Ricky for the grinding.
Get fucking naked.
Absolutely. We threw some Ross in there, especially that was Albert Anastasia era. A lot of Gucci.
Flacco's still flocking.
Flocka was definitely still flocking because I for sure remember one of the girls that I was talking to in college. We understood discretion, so I full blown. Hey, let's do it. Hey, and she's on some dude's shoulders, losing her shit.
Proud of her.
And saw her after that. We gave each other the nod, and she came on by after the club. Discretion and just being like, hey, you do your thing with your dude over there. Y'all enjoy yourselves. I ain't saying nothing. I ain't jealous about you being with no other dudes. And I still know who you going to be with at the end of the night. She doing her thing, married with like 17 kids now. But
I'm circle around back to that real because I had some other shit before, and I'm trying to make sure I get all my thoughts out. But I'm circling around back to that because I got some.
Absolutely.
I'm today's old nigga day because I don't understand some of y'all. But see, that still to me sounds like an era thing because all those people you named are that era, and I think about the era of music now from those places. If you took all
Drake was new.
And new Drake, I'm not even gonna hold y'all.
He was still light skinned Aubrey. People
Listen,
thought he
man,
was
I'm
an
not
R&B
gonna hold y'all. That's when Drake was Draking. Like them first few, Drake started. This is where Drake began to lose me at Marvin Room because I just thought Marvin Room was whatever.
That was emo Drake. We still had Wayne and his mini mixtapes.
And this is not saying I don't listen to Drake today. It's just some of the things that I'm not rocking with. Like
just some of them was still Nicki.
But and I'm not. Yeah, Nicki was Nicki. Like it's not to say that Nicki's not still. That's a whole nother thing. Like sometimes I feel like as much as I feel like maybe personality wise from what is presented online might not be my favorite person, but I do feel like sometimes because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't pay attention to anything that was going on when she was like having that big. I just knew it was a giant beef. But part of that was that it does sort of feel like I'd be feeling like conflicted about whether or not like how we feel, how she's perceived online is maybe being like mean or whatever. But then I think about it, I'm like, Nicki legitimately is like one of the best motherfuckers to come out of like her city. It's transcended this female male rap thing, which kind of doesn't make sense because like that makes sense in sports, but like in art, she's just out rapping motherfuckers. Like when you think about like if you think about a hip hop's top whatever, especially if you're thinking about out of a certain region, like she's not gonna ever fall. She should never fall out of the top 10 for her city, let alone if we're going like the top things in hip hop. Period. So I just sometimes feel like they kind of. I don't know what she's done in real life, but like it just feels like her name do be kind of like played with, and I don't understand why particularly. And I'm not gonna research it, but take that and do what you will with it, guys. The hip hop thing makes me also think about a conversation I had about like you said earlier. You said like a reference from a movie. I forgot what the reference was. But it made me think about like, damn, these kids don't have like the Van Wilders, the fucking American Pies,
Miss Guzzi.
They don't have the Miscouzis,
the Euro trips.
They don't have none of those. That was such a fucking era, and I'm like, damn, I didn't think about how
mediocre B minus at best white teen movies that
I didn't like that dirty fucking humor. That era of movie, how much that affected like our age group.
Crude humor.
I remember like in school, it was back when like Twitter was a thing. I had like developed a couple little friendships in real life and just on the internet off of being able to quote Step Brothers word for word. Like, and I feel like that was maybe like one of the, like Will Ferrell was like the final bastion of like that type of like, because he's like a fucking, he's become like a supreme just actor, let alone comedic actor, but like that just goofy fucking what the fuck comedy type shit. Yeah. What the fuck these kids be into? What do the kids be into? What is going? What are the children? Creation. Okay. But where you creating from?
They watch people on YouTube now.
That's crazy.
They can sit up for hours and watch somebody's Twitch stream, and that's their version of entertainment.
Gang. I hate you motherfuckers.
Or just all their thing is social media and content creation. That's what they watch. They watch makeup tutorials and other types of tutorials and reviews and stuff like that. Like,
I'm being completely like biased to my like generation and generations prior that I was like grew up looking at or inspired from. But I feel like the motherfuckers even we find funny remind us of the era where niggas was just like funny. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just feel like I
can't really think of what comedians they have if you're going to stick with funny. Like, what comedians do they have today? Because, like, each era had a comedian and a stand-up special that you could go to that would be funny, that would define that era. Like, for that point in time, Cat Williams would define that era. Like, his stand-ups were blowing up at that time.
See, that I think that would probably get into this whole big thing that, like, you hear comedians talk about and influencers talk about, where it's like, what does funny look like? Because of social media and shit, motherfuckers are funny in a way of being online funny, and they get the fame. Yeah. They get the fame before getting their licks on stage, where that's a different type of funny,
right?
So I would say, and so I feel like sometimes the like the motherfuckers who are on top of the world have been there. Like Kevin's been there. Even if you go like white people, like like. I don't know, fucking Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura have like been on top for a minute. They've been doing this shit for like, I've been a comedian for 20 years. But like young people, it's, I guess, weird because we look at them as already like famous people, but they're getting their,
Day in their day chop shit.
Yeah, they getting their shit in the state. Because when you think like, Jess Hilarious, and there's like, there was controversy at one point when she was hitting on stage. But from what it seems like, I haven't gone to see Jess on stage. But to me, it feels like, she might be one of the ones. DC Young Fly is, traveling with like Carlos and fucking Chico Bean or whatever. Those three motherfuckers, I think, is like the niggas. Like as far as like people of a certain.
But they appeal more to us though.
That's
they
true.
Appeal more to the late 20s, 30 and up crowd because that's who they are. They not really appealing to.
We might be the last group
to give a fuck
about stand up though,
right? Because a lot of them, it's if you're funny in your meme creation. So say like RDC World may be more popular than the actual comedian today, just because they create funny content and it throws the anime shit in there as well, which is popular with the kids today. So you don't have to be a comedian per se as far as stand-up is concerned. You don't have to know how to do bits. You don't know how to create a special or how to set up a punchline and utilize 10, 15 minutes to do so. You just have to create a meme, and as long as it's funny for the audience, you are considered a comedian.
Because even Yeah, you just because everybody I feel like mentioning is of a certain age group. Like everybody over there, like when you think like Kev on stage and everybody that does like all the dad joke people that are those are all real comedians.
They're real comedians, but that's also for our age group. That ain't for the younger people.
Yeah, I don't know who's a fucking young comedian. That's not like a white dude. Like I feel like white people still like when you look online, it'd be like it was a nigga, and I know he started on fucking I don't remember his name. I think it was Matt Rife. I see his shit go viral a lot, and I know he was on like Wild 'N Out. But it's always, I feel like young comedians, I be seeing like white dudes. But maybe I'm out the loop. I know like there's still comedians, but I don't know what that looks like in the stand-up comedy.
It might be with the younger audiences that white people are the only ones that'll still go see a stand-up show. So a lot of the comedians, whatever race they are, they're going to go to those types of clubs. Like you don't really see or hear about young people going to comedy clubs.
Yeah, because actually sometimes like when I see them in like comedy clubs and they're like, "Yo, what's your age, man?" Like a lot of it be like still in their like 30s and up.
Yeah, be people our age group, but it's younger people, somebody in their mid 20s, early 20s that's working on their show. They're doing stand up, but it's like everybody else is the content creation. You ain't even got to be funny. You just got to have a gimmick.
But I don't know if Gen Z, the way like it's presented, how sensitive certain eras are. I don't know if Gen Z could be at a comedy club the way that it's presented online.
Yeah, because everything is so fucking sensitive.
Yeah, you go to a comedy club and that's where you find out your favorite comedic actor gets fucking busy in here. Like I remember, what the fuck was the dude? I'm gonna feel like an idiot for not remembering his name. Fuck. What was that show that he was on with the two twins? The white girl twins, Mary Kate and Ashley.
Oh, he's talking about who passed away?
Yes.
I was about to say some shit that was clearly wrong. Why can't I remember? See, what happens when you die? People forget all about you. I'm sorry.
Pretty much, man. Because I'm
sorry.
I'm gonna talk about some shit, but like
I was about to say Jeff Goldblum. It's definitely not Jeff Goldblum.
Nah, what the fuck was that show? I'm gonna be really pissed when I fucking like
talking about Full House?
There we go. I just needed the fucking show.
Oh.
Cause I'm committed now to finding who the fuck Bob Saget.
Yes.
Fuck.
I was gonna say Siegel.
Okay, but Bob Saget, I remember like getting introduced to like just using that as a parallel. For me, as a kid at the time, like Bob Saget,
white guy,
is a fucking dad, and
corny as shit.
You see Bob Saget he's a motherfucker, a complete degenerate
in
motherfucker.
movies too.
Yeah, so I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like there's.
I'll say at least for us though, we had to, because there was a separation of age and what was appropriate for certain age groups. Like now certain topics in general are just inappropriate. Everybody's just sensitive about certain stuff. Whereas for us, it was age appropriate. You could talk about whatever you wanted to talk about, but within a certain age range. So for Bob Saget, for us and him being in that point in time where he was on Full House, we only got to know him as corny white dad. And for the older people, you got to see, especially when he started doing cameos in other movies, him being a regular ass adult where he's getting to it. But it's the same thing kind of like with Pee Wee Herman. We grew up with Pee Wee Herman being a certain way. And it wasn't until later on in his career when he was like in Blow and other movies like this where you got to see him actually be like, no, that's a character that I played. It made me famous. But now I'm a full-blown fucking adult, and this is what I'm going to do for people my age. Or even same thing with Jaleel White. It took him a while to like transition into being an adult actor and people seeing like, oh, your gimmick is up for a different age group. I have transitioned into some other stuff. Like everybody can't be, let's say, Kel Mitchell, where you get to kind of stay in your pocket forever.
I think that also is maybe like, since everything kind of blends between like social media, TV, stand-up, everything is in like one melting pot. You don't get to separate the person from the, if you like a unless you were going to stand-up clubs, probably even if you were grown, unless you were going to see stand-up comedy all the time, you might not have really known who the fuck a motherfucker was. Like, I don't know. Obviously, I think every black person knew who Robin Harris was. But, maybe you didn't. Because some people might have been like, oh, yeah, that's the dad from whatever. And it's like, nigga, that nigga get busy in the fucking, in the clubs or whatever as a comedian. So.
But it was comedy or stand-up comedy was a part of black culture. So you knew who the comedians were.
Mm-hmm.
through every era, from our parents' era, our grandparents' era, and to our era. Whereas now, comedy's not really a part of black culture anymore. Like everything is pop culture.
Yeah.
And even pop culture is influenced by black culture, but that's why you'll see black comedy in content creation, but it's utilized by anybody to monetize what's going on and being able to be profited off of.
Does that bother you?
It bothers me a lot.
When you watching because I've noticed that I didn't think that bugged me as much until like I see it like a trending sound that I know full fucking well that only a certain amount of us know where the fuck it comes from.
Right.
And they be doing dances or fucking talking over it. Some part of that I'd be like, you didn't watch that movie.
But that's
you don't know where the
again
fuck it's
our
came from.
era, and before people had to earn the right to do shit like that. Like we had Comic View. Whatever age whether you was watching Comic View when it came on regular
time,
or you was staying up late to watch Comic View after all the other shit went off TV, but that's part of black culture. Stand up, Def Comedy Jam, Comic View, all these different shows that promoted comedy because they weren't giving comedians in our culture any burn on TV, so they created a platform for themselves. We learned who those comedians were. They were famous within the culture and could still eat and not have to do silly shit or whatever the case is, dumb themselves down for some white comedy thing. But as a white person or a non-black person going on to those shows, you had to earn the right to be there.
Yeah.
If you saw a white person or a Latino person on Comic View, like they legit had to be funny. Like you had to give fucking Gary Owen some respect because he got to the point of hosting Comic View.
Yeah.
Which as the white person, that's not going to happen. Whereas today, you can have a white person use a sound bite from something black, do the dance, and it seems good enough in the dance, and now you're invited to the cookout.
Yeah, part of that, I definitely I haven't never been one of these people who's like never thought like comedians didn't have a point. There was being some might be a little too harsh, but they have like a point with like, you know, that brand of comedy. Or like, you know, somebody being funny online, making the distinction that doesn't make you comedian funny. But I definitely think that should probably be like, chap my ass with a motherfucker that y'all probably don't like know where the joke come from. And then this person is more famous to me for like doing a whole page of reenactments. Like even, I'm not gonna lie, I've gotten lazy even on our shit by doing some of the remix shit. But I'm like, shit, man, at least put a little something on the end, y'all.
Right. I mean, remixes, at least you putting your own personal spin on something. Even if it's a reaction. Like a reaction is you still doing... Depending, because some people's reaction is just them looking at the camera going.
That I'm not gonna lie, that kind of blows me. Not like in a fucking fuck them way. I just be kind of really interested at like how does growth work of just like how does that?
How do you actually feel about this? Not just making some silly face because you know that shit is popular, so you putting it on your page, which you attach to it, so it can be looked at as individual or what's it called? Something content, like original content.
Oh yeah,
you're making it seem like original content based on the algorithm simply because you put your face in that motherfucker. Like, no, speak how you actually feel about it and give a review and something so you're actually creating. People aren't doing that. You're just throwing up some shit that's not yours and letting it hit for you as well, which is going to get you followers. It's kind of like fucking meme pages or pages that repost pictures of women that ain't in their page.
Yeah, that shit is weird. I made fun of. I thought I was making fun of the lady. I couldn't find her. I just found it. Also, shout out to somebody.
You are.
But yeah, I thought about that the other day when I was fucking doing I was making something and I thought it was just like a little throwaway funny shit, and I was like, this ain't even this girl page. It was fucking, I don't know who the woman is, but yeah, I'm saying shout out to Tierra Bree Cosplay because we had a post go up and she reached out and she's funny. So go follow Tierra Bree Cosplay.
Follow her. She looks wonderful in all of.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, real cool nigga. And you know, actually I like niggas who be like cosplaying for shit that I really fuck with. Not to say like, you know, not knocking anybody who cosplays some shit that I don't fucking know, but it ain't just popular shit. I'm like, oh yeah, she's a fan of this shit.
Yeah,
I fuck with y'all, man.
Absolutely.
I fuck with cosplay people too, not even just for like, obviously motherfuckers be looking good. I'm not knocking that. I'm not trying to be like Captain Righteous, but hey, that shit is difficult.
You could be a purist. I like people that cosplay and you can tell that they actually fuck with anime.
I fuck with that.
As opposed to people that are cosplaying because it's popular and it's going to get them views and they got some ass and titties and they know that's going to pull people in. No, like you can kind of tell who really fucks with anime and who's just doing it because they look good in the costume and it's going to get them views.
It's another person that I can't remember because it's a lot. It's a lot of content creators, but she was up there and the whole outfit was just like, and the things were stanging. And then like, I'm thinking this is just going to be like a lust moment. I'm I'm being facetious. I'm tired of y'all doing this, man. She made a post, and then it's her walking around Comic-Con, calling shit out, having good conversation. I was like, that's a good motherfucker, man. Good job. Good on you. I don't be following on y'all because I just feel like page be just fucking lit with ass. But like, she seemed like she was cool. So like, I fuck with y'all content who be like really fucking with the shit.
Absolutely.
And also, I'm not trying to be one of them niggas that I feel like make it hard for people to come into the geek community. Like, what's your favorite episode? Did you watch episode 322 when Naruto? Boy, shut the fuck up. Don't do that. Don't be one of these fucking weird ass niggas. Like,
as y'all know, if you watch the show on a regular basis, we actively always have anime in the back. We are in my house, and I look at anime all the time, and I don't remember in half their names. I don't be remembering characters and episodes, none of that shit. I just watch it because it has a lot of good storylines and some nuggets in it. And the shit's not for kids, and that's what I like. I don't feel like watching Real Housewives of Slauson. I don't want to watch that shit. I just at least fucking anime will challenge your brain in some capacity.
That's been Real Housewives of Slauson would be funny as shit. I'm not watching because I don't watch none of that shit, but I feel like that would produce memes like some of these shows of them that I've been able to use. I don't watch the shows, but I mean,
technically we had that. We had the Black Beverly Hills series or the Baldwin Hills series.
Oh yeah,
back in the day. I wouldn't know. My family was
I even feel like our fucking
shout out to the thesis.
Our fucking reality TV was better, but that was when I was falling off reality TV though.
I was never on it.
I'm not gonna lie.
I watched Flavor of Love.
Flavor of Love had me.
I just watched for the goodies.
Maybe I wasn't. Flavor of Love had me. I remember watching a couple of those early Real Worlds during like high school age eras.
I tried to get in the Real World, but there was too much white people shit going on for me.
Yeah, I just kept rooting for the black people to do whatever.
I just wanted to see what the black people were doing. At some point in time, I'd be like, the black people's acting like white people too. I don't care no more. It's like...
Yeah, I fell off on that.
I only cared a little bit.
So yeah, maybe I wasn't.
What's his
name?
I want to say Justin Blue or whatever the black dude's name is with the dreads that would be on there, like telling them about themselves.
I vaguely remember.
Now
that.
he does positive. He's been doing positive black content creation for a while. Pro black.
Oh, that's good. Glad you parlayed that into something. Good on you.
I think he was doing it before, and they picked him up for the show, and he just kept doing it on the show, and he just went back to what he was doing. But whatever.
Smart.
Brother with the locks and the glasses and the beard.
You know what made me think about when we just said some geek shit? I've had like a quality geeky last couple weeks.
Okay.
I saw Blue Beetle. Thought Blue Beetle was cool.
Okay.
I don't think I'm glad that they James Gunn said they're continuing to put them in the thingy. Put them in the fucking new continuing DCU.
Okay. He's not gonna trash it after this movie.
Nah, because the movie it's not the movie's fault. It's DC's fault.
Fair.
The movie itself though, I feel like
it was corny-ish, but entertaining corny.
It had its corny moments
because like Shazam a little bit.
It was better than Shazam. The Shazam 2 shit was ass. I feel like that was just
the one with all his friends getting the Shazam powers and fighting the witch lady.
Yeah, but I don't
watch it.
I don't try to blame actors for that. I feel like that story didn't make sense. Like I feel like everything about that just wasn't as good as the first one. The first one was cool. This one was cool. I feel like it had a couple, it had all the cool little gems. It had cool characters. The grandma was fire. George Lopez character is one of those quiet genius characters.
Okay.
It was cool, positive imagery. I'm not of this particular culture, but I felt to me as an outsider of that culture that there's cool little tidbits. Just you can go look at that shit, be like, this is dope, our hero.
Okay.
And I thought that was cool. Thought the character kicked ass, but I was I had my little geeky moment with that. There was something else I was about to say.
One Piece.
One Piece. I was skeptical. I was going in. I was a little fearful, and I just want to say, I watched all of them bitches back to back. I watched everything top to bottom. Watched it back to back. Oda gave us the fucking go ahead. There was, and it was if you were a One Piece watcher and you be mad about the 40,000 filler episodes or how it take them niggas 200 episodes to fight. These niggas aren't paying us, but there's a page called One Pace. I think it's onepace.net where you can get all your fucking important shit of One Piece and it skips out on all that filler shit. But this was cool. They didn't do too bad. And I always get a kick out of they put a bunch of it's almost One Piece is low key One Piece is kind of almost strictly for the niggas. It's a lot of black characters. It's a lot of like, I wonder if this black, go ahead, that motherfucker black, that motherfucker over there black. I was watching that shit. I was like, yo, everybody black. Fuck it. Like this person has a race. All the shit you talk about where it's like, hey man, this character doesn't have to be whatever. It's like they said in their room and said, fucking make him black. He black, she black, they over there black, this motherfucker black. And I was here for it.
I have to go back. I started to try to watch it, but it's you know a bit of how my week has been. So trying to watch it late night and just fell asleep. And I caught some of like the first episode, and I fell asleep and woke up, and it was episode 5. Like you're not deep sleep, but you can hear it, but you ain't really. And I was like, I saw enough in the beginning to give it a shot, but I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this. So
I thought it was gonna disappoint, but I'm gonna say, like, I'm here for it. That shit, it did its job.
Anything after live action Dragon Balls, like you.
Oh no, it's clearly like one of the best live action adaptations.
I still want people to give Cowboy Bebop a shot.
I'm gonna go back and try. I can't diss it.
I feel like it wasn't as bad as people say. It's just it didn't follow the anime as much as we would like.
Yeah, I can't diss it that hard because I didn't fully watch it. I remember I watched the first episode and I was like, I'm gonna come back. And by the time I took time to come back, everybody had fucking
shitted on.
It was getting beat the fuck up, and I was like, okay, well, let me take my time and like come back to this at some point. But no, this shit start to finish. Like if you're into geeky shit, if you're into One Piece. And I feel like also if you have like, I think you should always go into like a live adaptation of something where it's like, they're going to give you as much as they can, but they're not going to give you, you just can't fit all of that in one thing. But this motherfucker, they gave you moments, and it was a thank you internet. These motherfuckers was doing like panel for panel. There's fights where them niggas did move for move, line for line. And it was also like, it's almost like watching like if you gave cosplayers just an infinite budget, because it wasn't like this would what they would look like in real life. It was like, nah, bitch, Mihawk has a giant fucking body size sword, give it to him. This nigga Don Krieg is wearing this stupid fucking armor, put it on him. This nigga's mustache is long and braid that bitch up. And I was like, you know what, cool, this would be a white man, because why not? They put in the fucking thing that Luffy is probably gonna like is of like Brazilian descent. They made him like, it's cool. Like I'm saying, fuck with it. I'm a fan. I think they did a good job. I'm also a nigga who watches One Piece up to, so anything they pretty much could have done would have been fine with me. I'm all the way caught up. Yes, I put in all 1,000. I watched the fillers and everything. You don't have to be like me. You don't have to be like me though. I didn't catch up to it though. Like I started early. Okay. I started way. Yeah. Like I think I started before the Doflamingo thing. Like when they were divvying out those episodes. I've been watching for years. So like,
but yeah, you didn't have much to do. Yeah. I remember when One Piece first came on TV here.
Yeah, that was wild. It was like the night.
Yeah,
90s, like 99, 2000.
It was still Toonami on TV, if I'm not mistaken.
Luffy and Cash Money, baby.
Right. And I watched. I think I was like leaving high school or already in my first little bit of college, and I watched it. I watched the first couple episodes, and I was like, if it ain't Dragon Ball or Full Metal Alchemist, like I don't really care.
That's a good point.
Because it's like, to me, that's what I watch anime for. Like, I would watch the cartoony kind of shit on Dragon Ball, but even then, there was some undertones to it. But Full Metal Alchemist and Bleach and Yu Yu Hakusho and was it Samurai Champloo and Cowboy Bebop? Yes. Like, those are the ones that I watched. And Luffy just seemed like one of those goofy Yu-Gi-Oh type animes, and I was like,
It took a few.
It took us like a season or two for it to really get to
it takes a season for you to realize, oh, this nigga's about toppling over governments, and we're having themes of what does freedom look like.
I didn't stick around long enough to catch that, and when I came back, 2-3 seasons later, and I was like, oh, it's about this?
Yeah, I cheated the system.
This is cool? Oh, let me go back and watch. And it was like hundreds of episodes, and I was like,
I forget.
Let me try to find it. Can't find it. That's back when Crunchyroll could be free. That's a long time ago when you can just sign up and get a free Crunchyroll account. But I want
to say One Piece is a I have to attribute that to Tumblr. I feel like I fell across somebody's Tumblr that was big in the anime. They were already watching, and they started throwing out. I was, what the fuck is this? This show got good as shit, and I was able to catch it like before it got nuts. And there was our motherfuckers was going like, yo, this shit nuts. And this nigga Luffy's a motherfucker. And even they weren't even telling what it is. I was just like, yo, why is this nigga going so hard for like Luffy and them? And like Zoro's the best motherfucker ever. And I was like, oh, he works out. I work out. Yeah, let's go. Cool.
I had to either download, stream some shit to watch it. And like I said, I was on top of music on a regular basis. So my computer was filled to the brim with music. We wasn't doing that for
I killed
some dubbed show or some sub show that wasn't going to be dubbed. And I couldn't figure out how to watch shit for free. By the time I figured out how to program shit to watch anime for free on like Fire Sticks and all that years later, I was already hundreds of episodes behind. I was like, I'll wait till it's off.
Hell no, I was giving my computer syphilis. Just finding fucking streaming sites. Yeah.
You sure you want to download this, boss?
Yep. It was all them shits where you press play and you gotta delete 47 tabs before that bitch open up. Then it play.
Malware, malware and adware.
And you can't never ever let that bitch pause, because if you pause it and then try to play it again, you get 30,000 ads, and then this shit start playing in the background. You done missed half a scene trying to I live like, you motherfuckers don't understand, you fucking ruffian.
You be closing all kind of shit and end up at a porn site.
No, dead ass. And then they make it weird because you sitting there trying to, Luffy up there crying. We got a very powerful moment, and now you got to look in the corner. It's some weird schoolgirl with big titties and some unknown liquid on her body. I didn't come here for this. I did not come here for this. Titties don't even move like that. Like, what the fuck is we talking about? Just this big wide ass. Like, where y'all get this from? They don't even got this over there. Like, where this big
dead or alive bouncy titties?
Yeah, this fucking pink haired, green haired woman built like Buffy the Body times 12. Like, this nigga, fuck off.
You
Relax.
know women in Japan built like that?
Yeah, y'all could you nasty motherfuckers. Y'all some perverts. Like my third and last my last geeky shit is I today finished God of War, and I'll tell you right now.
Congratulations.
I don't give a fuck what you're into. If this game is not in your top 3, to me, God of War is a game where, like, if it's a motherfucker who's never played video games, it's like the emotional fucking journey that I have been on with Kratos and Atreus. I don't give a shit. This is the best father-son story. I don't give, like, you can get a little misty-eyed. We done lost people. We have come, like, this is the best fucking shit ever.
One-armed knuckle push-ups.
Oh, yeah, that's...
As a woman, straight, she ain't leaning or nothing.
She's not fucking blinking.
See, that's fucking...
I got to start watching Jormungand for real, because, like, it be in the back here, and it just be so much the fuck going on. But she's been here for a minute. Her and this white hair motherfucker.
Getting to it.
Yeah, they some just...
That's one thing I can appreciate about anime as well. Anime will tell you, like, bitch, you need to train your ass off to become something special. You ain't gonna get this just from being mediocre. Like, ain't no soft shit. Get in here and earn what it is that you want, saying that you want.
No, yeah, I'm like, shit. That's why motherfuckers, I know people make jokes and shit. It's a lot of memes about Dragon Ball Z, but, like, this shit do tell you to kind of, like, it's a lot of shit on training. It's not it's what all got us. It's what got us all here. Granted, I'm not gonna say it's my fave. It's always gonna be in a list because it's what got us all started on this fucking journey. But there be themes in there. Shit. Strength, nigga. Strength on, you can. Now, some of y'all be taking this shit, making it weird and making stupid memes. And again, I'm never gonna, at this point now, I'm gonna make it a person because I want y'all to be better. All y'all Sigma male pages with the fucking, like, and hey, Sigmas, man, y'all don't be mad at these niggas. Y'all don't be mad at the fucking Patrick Bateman, Blade Runner 2049, crying memes, and she doesn't fucking call you back. I know it's a nigga somewhere with the blue boots ready to kick a motherfucker ass. Don't let them use your name like that. Where Keith at?
I mean, they ain't called Sigmas for no reason.
Am I?
So maybe they in alignment with.
I knew it. Never mind. I started one way, ended the other way.
Hey, I don't.
It was fucking.
Thought
it was gonna go one way. No. It's the other way.
No, he'll shoot y'all some bail. Not I.
I'm not gonna lie, man. That might be. If I was like a real organized person, I would make that like a segment and go find, because I know everybody like the man he's a very zen individual, but I've learned a couple things over a good amount of years. we've rolled into a good number of years on this friendship shit. I done figured out where this nigga get his fucking villainy on. Like y'all be thinking it's like, nah, nigga, like y'all have no idea. It's some shit, and you don't got to do much. You could just, cause I didn't mean to do that, but you just do a little, motherfucker, start a forest fire, bro. Like you know, like you ever see like in the movies where you could do like that little, well, fuck a match, just that little shit where this, and poof, damn, nigga, we didn't burn half the city down. How that happen? It's a couple things, not, but it's a few of them hoes. You just gotta. And the nigga hit beef status. Like
subtlety. I'm not gonna be beef will be in your face with it. I'm not gonna be in your face.
Beef got a hammer with spikes on it,
yeah,
and that's already on fire.
Yeah,
it's got like a double, triple XP rating. Like it's stupid. It don't make no sense.
Yeah, he'll let you know off top. I'll slide some shit in there, and I'm equalizer status. I'm gonna be chilling and chop eating your throat, and then walk away. And what happened? I don't know what happened.
Yeah, DC do some shit where you sit there and you like, you know, it's like, and you gotta sit in this chair slow, and you don't realize that your body weak and you bleeding, and DC will be like, you know, and he'll give you like a nice. That's how he kill you. It's still death. Everybody in the room dead, but he's like, you know, and he'll give you a nice, cool speech, and DC will do like this. He'll let you like, you know, you get to kind of, you know, like it's, you know, at a certain point in time, we all have to expire, and it's like this. Meanwhile, you know, Beef.
I'm here to fuck shit and like, blow shit up.
What was that scene? That scene in Fire Force where them niggas try to get the girl and she's just looking at the fires exploding and how the whole city. Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. I'm not gonna. I'm just out here. I don't know what I am. It depends on the day of the week.
We'll see when that time comes who you are.
I thought we was talking about jokes. I really thought we was talking about jokes. You know, life be lifing.
We'll see. Like I said, when the time comes, we'll find out. I ain't telling
nobody when this internship stops.
You don't need to.
I ain't telling nobody when this internship stops. Oh shit, nigga, you graduated, huh? Nah, what? It's just these pictures just to show that see if it fits.
I'm getting ready to graduate next semester. I'm just kind of trying it on right now to see. It's okay. Mm-hmm. You ain't going nowhere. But it's going back to our blurredom, you know, Anthony Mackie being the lead actor in Twisted Metal.
I'm proud of that. I got to come back to give it more because I watched to like episode 5, and what I have to do, which I feel like I be trying to preach this, so I got to try to do it myself, is like separate from the Twisted Metal that I know and be like, let the show be the show. Because like, I'm a Twisted Metal fan in general. Like I've played like a bunch of them, but Twisted Metal I know that stuck with me is Twisted Metal Black. Twisted Metal Black is dark as fuck. Like Twisted Metal Black is not funny. Twisted Metal Black is fucking, everybody's story is fucked up. And that's what I was like looking for. This shit is dope, like by itself as like this comedic take on it. So I have to kind of come back and
I never got to play
get okay
Black.
With that.
Black, I was already a little bit older, and we ain't had the money for all the video games like that. I grew up on first and second Twisted Metal, a little bit of Twisted Metal 3, but I didn't really get to do Black and all these other. I didn't realize there was like 9 different Twisted Metal games.
Yeah, I didn't know that either till when I was looking it up, because I was looking up to do a correlation for Black, and I was like, oh, I've only played like 3.
Yeah, I've only played 3 of them, which is like 1, 2 for sure. 2 is legendary. I played 1. 1 used to frustrate the shit out of me, and I'm surprised I gave 2 a chance because I was just so frustrated at 1. 2 was the shit.
Which one had Ajax in it when he had like his body was stuck in the wheels? I remember playing one of those.
Was it Ajax? I thought it was Axel.
There we go, that nigga.
Yeah, 2. I think 2, yep. 3, and another one had Axel.
And that's when I was dumb because I played because I thought the character was cool and didn't pay attention.
Yeah, I just saw a nigga riding on big wheels, and I was like, oh, let me see this. And then you find out the clown nigga and all this, and then Mr. Grimm and all this other stuff. So
yes,
that shit was cool. The story is a little bit more. It lets him be silly. Because a part of his acting ability is to be somewhat serious but silly at the same time. But once you make it through all the episodes, you realize like this season is just kind of like a setup season.
Yep.
But for my blurredom, I was just appreciating the fact that one, they had Sweet Tooth in this bitch, and Sweet Tooth is fucking Samoa Joe. So for those of you that don't watch wrestling or know anything about wrestling, Samoa Joe is a professional wrestler. So it's just surprising, like fucking Samoa Joe.
I just want
made it. All right.
I want niggas to win though. So when I saw Anthony Mackie, I'm like, I'm not finna openly be like,
oh yeah, no.
I've had like private conversations with my little geek people and Twisted Metal stuff, but yeah, it's not bad. I just have to like.
You got to separate your expectations.
Yeah, because I started watching and I was like, okay, this is cool. And I kept thinking, like, where the fuck is the niggas too plucky? Where the fuck is the depression in this bitch?
Right.
Where the fuck is the just evil?
I'm waiting for fucking as much anime shit as Michael B been talking about. I'm waiting for him to fucking pop up and do something anime related with his acting ability and his stance. And I know he's supposed to be doing or a part of some shit. I know they was talking about him doing some Superman shit.
That was in conversation.
I don't know what happened with that, but then I know he was supposed to be
DC
doing some other shit. I just forgot what it was.
There was a book that I read that I want to say he has the rights to, in the promotion of like black fantasy stuff. I ain't gonna lie though, like they say the second book is better. I will say that this book was like a bit of the Black Leopard, Red Wolf. I know I've spoken about that before. I think it's a long book. It's kind of a tough read just because like some of the shit wasn't as cohesive, at least to me, but it made sense in the end. Big old LGBTQ book. A lot of butt sex, a lot of ass kicking though. It's a lot of like it's butt sex, and then it's like murder and it's magic. And it probably would make a good film. So I heard there was like stuff that he was doing in that. So I just think about like all the stuff that's in that book, that if he took like, some of this like I'm gonna make some fucking magical anime type shit, applied that to like, that would probably be cool. It would be violent though. And I don't know what the second book got, but this first book was kind of depressing. Like it was like, this will get fucking dark.
It'll be some Amazon Prime shit. It won't be a in theaters type of deal.
Nah, it's too much in the book. It would need to be like a series to flesh all the shit out. So I don't think it'd be everybody's cup of tea, but I'm trying to have niggas do like, magical whatever shit. So I'm not in the business of like, shitting on it. I say go for it and see what happens. Just follow what they make.
That's fair.
All right, y'all, I have to go to work. So I gave y'all, today was a day. I want y'all niggas to know, man. Don't let adversity stop no shit. You did a lot to get in here today. Fucking shit didn't work. Phone wasn't charged. Didn't have keys. I don't know, man. It was traffic. Somebody shit outside. I don't know. But do with that what you will.
It's been an adversity week for me. So,
man, big ups to people going through their stuff.
Absolutely.
And that's that's all I'm gonna say on that. But
absolutely, salute
to the gang and positivity and positive vibes and love and well wishes. And I don't have nothing that I fucking picked, but you know what I do? I want y'all niggas to listen to more artists that I fuck with so they can make more music. And I know Victoria Monet gave us a fucking fire ass album. That might be the best thing I fucking heard. Jordan Ward gave us some shit. I'm shouting them out because I'm not gonna play them. What I am gonna play.
I'm giving y'all flowers.
Yeah. I think it was
on layaway.
Cause I played some lay around here. And I just want her to get some more shit. Like, I want motherfuckers who can sing their ass off so they can make more music so I can listen to it.
So you ain't gotta be pushed towards the mainstream.
And listen to none of the other shit. I'm
Pussy
okay with
pink,
that.
booty hole brown.
Yeah, I just have realized that like I don't give a fuck about what nobody else listens to. I be trying, I'm gonna be, but I don't care. This is good shit. So go give it a listen. Support our page. Follow some shit. Like some episodes. Listen to some shit. Tell your mom and them. Everybody who's recently followed. Thank you. And I don't know, man. We'll see y'all next week. We'll have something to do. I'm gonna ask. I'm back to asking questions. I want y'all to fucking contribute.
Ask questions, but also like I know y'all come and enjoy the memes that get thrown up through the week, but y'all do know that we're not just a meme page, right? Like we have episodes that you can come and watch.
Look, man, I be throwing it in there. Some days, every day I'm not gonna lie. Every day I don't do it.
Right.
Some days I be fucking tired. Y'all go get what the fuck I got on top of my brain.
I've said it many times. We're giving y'all consistency right now. We'll improve the quality a little bit more once he gets his shit situated in some areas and I get my shit situated in some areas. But as y'all are filing in, as you're coming in to the left and to the right, have a seat in any of the foyer. It does not matter, but make sure you are participating in today's sermon on a regular basis.
Because I know when y'all come here, y'all figure out what it is. Like maybe
No,
on the
they
page.
don't.
Y'all have to come when y'all come to this.
We know that they don't figure. People have been watching us for years and still don't always figure
That's a
out
fair
what
point. But I just feel like when if you come to this one or you do the whole listen thing, then I feel like we good. The pod page, I can feel you getting a little. I
You
understand.
can get a little confused on the pod page. I get it, but like, come here, listen past 25 minutes.
That's a good point.
First 25 minutes is just checking in for the most part. We transition into all the more serious stuff, towards the middle and end of the episodes. Those that have been around for a while have figured that out. Most of the talking is just us in the beginning, recapping and catching up and sharing what's on our random ass mind, but then we correlate it into a topic, unlike today. But stay longer than 20-25 minutes so you can actually see what we do really talk about here on the show.
All right. Love you, bye. And when I ask, y'all want to hear about some shit that you think we can talk good about, I'm really into that. I like when y'all used to do that better. So we back on that shit this week. I
Absolutely.
promise
You're going to ask me questions. I want you to answer some of them fucking questions. You're going to have to sneak it into a meme. That way they actually will pay attention to the question.
you. Y'all niggas be talking. All right, I'm figuring it out. We're going to figure it out.
Absolutely.
Okay, bye. For real this time.